My name is John, and the International Criminal Court is now in session. It has come to my attention as of late that a pro-Ukraine account known as the Enforcer about 7 hours ago made this video, which garnered over 222,000 views, claiming that an armed uprising has started within Russia, like Second Russian Civil War. Do I really got to do this video? Really? Come on, guys. But a lot of you have requested me to do this. So without any further ado, let's break it down and maybe call them out, okay? Let's go.
Hello everyone, I am the Enforcer, and welcome to the breaking news. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and support us on Patreon, link in the description below. Today's breaking news is that an armed uprising has begun within the Dagestan region of the Russian...
First of all, it's not Dagestan, it's Dagestan. You American? You freaking burgers? I'm an American, by the way.
Russian Federation, a region that is one of the most south and easterly regions within the Russian Federation and borders the Caspian Sea. According to information that we have, a uprising faction has declared they will be conducting open warfare against the Russian Federation, and we can see reports of armed conflict occurring all the way from the major city, the oblast capital of Makhachkala, and all the way down and into the area of Derbent, almost along the border with Azerbaijan.
Hold on a second. I've heard no reports of somebody proclaiming jihad against the Russian government. I've heard, like, literally nothing. Like, oh, and it looks like he already removed my comment. By the way, before I recorded this video, I actually already tried to record it already using OBS, but it appeared something went wrong during the recording itself, so I apologize if I gotta do a second take. I mean, it's so frustrating, because now I got to torture myself again with this very bullshit video. It's awful. Just awful.
Azerbaijan. This news has come as quite a shock, as this armed uprising has been something that many have known would be happening for quite some time, but we have never seen it break out in such a large form. The last time we saw similar uprisings, they were actually being conducted within Ingushetia, around the area of Nazran, and also over into the area of Vladikavkaz. We were able to see that during that time, the Russian Federation had a somewhat difficult time quelling the uprising, and it took about 4 to 5 days for the uprising to be crushed, although it was much smaller than the one we're currently seeing. With the information that we have, especially coming out of the area of Makhachkala, we are getting an idea that things are going very badly. We can hear the sounds of heavy firefights permeating from most streets, and we do have some audio here letting us hear the sound of the firefights that are occurring within the oblast's capital.
Okay, so at least he's showing what's going on down there. And you know, even some people in the comment section,
the sounds of these firefights are
this guy
still
even asked,
continuing
like,
as we
why
talk
are they
right
so
now,
calm?
although we have heard that according to
it's because it's a terror attack.
The Russian Federation, some special forces are preparing to storm a church where these separatists have apparently taken hostages and are currently holding the building. It appears...
Yeah, it's a terror attack. Islamist militants do this a lot.
That at the moment there is most likely an ongoing firefight inside of one of the churches in the city of Makhachkala, but nevertheless we do not have a lot of information on that firefight and how that is unfolded yet at this moment. However, we were able to hear once again the sounds of heavy gunfire permeating from other parts of the city, like this clip right here. That's seen in that clip. In the meantime, we also got some additional
stay away
news
from
that
the
a
fighting,
synagogue
folks.
and a church have been set on fire by the separatists within the region. From the information that we have, we believe that this was the synagogue that has been caught on fire within the area of Makhachkala. Sorry, everyone, that name is really hard for me to pronounce. It is actually Makhachkala.
Of course, he's having trouble pronouncing these Russian town names. Congratulations, you just joined the Poor Literature American Club. Just like me, man.
Incredibly difficult name to pronounce. We're just going to call that the Oblast capital from here forward.
Boring. Just say the capital of Dagestan.
But nevertheless, it does appear that the firefights are continuing at a very heavy pace within the city, and it seems as though this armed uprising may have an incredibly large number of members. We have heard that Russian forces have taken considerably high casualties just over the first hour. We've already been able to confirm that at least 6 Russian police officers and special forces have already been killed in just the first 24 hours alone, and we've also been able to hear that supposedly 2 or 3 of the separatists have also been killed as well, just within the first hour of fighting, which is giving us an idea that this open rebellion is going to be quite a major one. Meanwhile, all the way down the coast and in the area of Derbent, we were able to see that armored personnel carriers have been mobilized from the local Rosguardia and are on move through the city. Many people may find this to be very reminiscent of very similar videos that we saw literally on this day last year as the Wagner coup began, and the Rosguardia, much like it is now, was mobilized and beginning to drive their armored personnel carriers through many of the city streets of the Russian Federation.
Why does this guy keep saying the Russian Federation? Just say Russia. Just say Russia. She seemed giddy.
In that clip, but we were also able to see Rosguardia forces moving through the streets of Derbent on foot as well, showing that there is a heavy armed forces presence, although we can note that the Rosguardia, which this is of course expected, appears to be far less better equipped than even the Russian infantry on the front lines in Ukraine.
Okay, that is just pure speculation. That is just pure speculation, man. You're making stuff up.
That's the end of that clip right there, but once again showing us that actions are continuing to increase, at least in their volatility, and also the amount of firefights that are happening are also beginning to increase as well. From what we understand, this armed uprising is mostly being conducted by the Free Ingushetian Army, which is a group that is inside...
What? And not ISIS-K or like Al-Qaeda in like North Caucasus or something? Like, dude, you're clearly sugarcoating the actual perpetrators of this attack. And I don't like that. That is very, very disgraceful.
The area of Ingushetia and has been conducting open rebellions against the Russian Federation for quite
Just say Russia. Stop saying Russian Federation.
some time. We have not heard at the moment of any civilian casualties that have been caused, but we have heard that these separatists have continued to take hostages within the towns of Makhachkala and also the area of Derbent as well. We do not have a lot of information about the amount of hostages that have been taken, the demands of the hostage holders, or anything for that matter, rather than there is a large rebellion ongoing, which is pretty much sweeping the most populated areas of the Oblast of Dagestan, and at the moment it appears that this...
Hold on, did he just say it again? Did he just say it again?
That have been taken, the demands of the hostage holders, or anything for that matter, rather than there is a large rebellion ongoing, which is pretty much sweeping the most populated areas of the Oblast of Dagestan. And
it's Dagestan. Dagestan. You freaking burger.
At the moment, it appears that this will be continuing on for quite some time, and the Russian Federation will have their hands tied up greatly in trying to deal with this ongoing crisis within the region and trying to put down another armed rebellion. Another thing that's giving us an idea that this will take quite some time to put down is the absolute geographical scope of the uprising. Unlike inside of Ingushetia, which is a fairly small oblast within the Russian Federation, the area of Dagestan is incredibly...
It is Dagestan. This guy can't pronounce shit right.
Vast and quite large. The distance in between Derbent and Makhachkala is a whopping 70 miles, meaning that this open rebellion could exist in a 70-mile area along the coastline. Meaning,
bro, there's no rebellion. You're making stuff up. Like, this is just a terror attack. It happens.
That the Russian Federation will have to deal with an incredibly large amount of ground to cover, and not only that, conduct with a massive, as the Russians are calling it, an anti-terrorism operation to try and stop the separatists from continuing on their attacks throughout the area. We do not know how this will unfold, but nevertheless, this is major breaking news, and this is the largest armed uprising that we have...
How is it breaking news when There was literally just a terror attack in Russia a few months ago in the suburbs of Moscow that killed hundreds of people. And it was revealed that those guys were alleged ISIS-K militants from Tajikistan. And also alleged guys who were paid by Ukrainians to pull it off. Seriously, man, you're just making stuff up. And it's really, really insulting to the people who died in Dagestan.
Seen inside the Russian Federation since the beginning of the war. Meanwhile, we were able to get news from inside of Sevastopol that apparently smoke is rising from the city after several American ATACMS missiles ended up striking the city and apparently causing some damage. We have not been able to get specific news on what kind of
Of course,
damage
this
has been
guy
caused,
is using
and the
like
Russians
null
have
reports.
supposedly
All these
claimed
guys
that
who
one of the
I've
ATACMS
already
missiles
condemned
was
on
shot
my
down over
grifter
the
like
beaches of
tier,
Sevastopol
my
and ended up
pro-Ukraine
slamming into some
account tier list.
onlookers and beachgoers,
This guy's using
possibly
all of
causing
the guys you
fatalities.
should all be
We do
familiar
not have
with.
any picture or video evidence to confirm that at this moment, and of course we could not show that on our channel. But we have not
'Cause it's
been able
against
to
community
independently
guidelines,
corroborate
you
those
fool.
claims and state that such information is confirmed to be true or not. We are able to confirm, however, that the city of Sevastopol was under ATACMS attack, and we can tell that some of these ATACMS were able to strike their targets, although we don't know what those targets were at this moment and what kind of damage has been caused. The attacks are so recent that not really a lot of information has come out about them, rather than the fact that they have happened, and we will most likely have to wait until later tonight on our stream at 10 p.m. Eastern Time to be able to report additional updates on this attack and what kind.
Ah, your little stream, huh? The one where you ramble and grip people out of their money or something for all the fake news that you put up on the internet? Okay.
And damage was caused, or we will have to wait until the next day on the next short war summary video to be able to try and recap what happened here and what kind of significant damage was really caused. Meanwhile, up in the Kyiv area, we were actually able to get a very interesting statement from Kirilo Budanov, as we were able to hear that apparently, according to Budanov, if the occupied territories are not returned to the state of Ukraine, a state of war will continue forever for the nation of Ukraine. Regarding
No, if they're not returned, you're going to lose the war. It's that simple. It's not that hard to see. The war will not continue forever. If anything, it's going to probably last like another 1-2 more years before there's a huge collapse. I don't know, but time will tell.
the offensive of Russia in the east, there will be no Armageddon, but the situation will be difficult for at least another month.
Oh yeah, they're giving away their OPSEC that they're gonna do another counteroffensive in Zaporozhye and Kharkiv. Good work, Budanov.
Supply of weapons continues faster than a few months ago, but Ukraine's needs are very high given the rate of consumption in the war. It does seem as though we are going to most likely expect that Ukrainian forces will be in a state of war up until the point of a Russian governmental and economic collapse, which
Okay, this is pure cope. There is no evidence that the Russian government or the Russian economy is going to collapse at this time. It's complete nonsense and complete fan fiction. This guy is either lying or he's coping.
we're expecting to happen by the end of this year or the beginning of next year.
Hold it right there, jackass. The end of this year or next year? Are you freaking serious? No! The war is gonna probably last another 2 more years at least. A max is like 3 or 4 more. What universe are you living in?
Many factors are indicating that we are seeing that the Russians are most likely in some sort of a severe economic and military decline that will
What?
reach its apex by that time frame, and we are expecting that the war will most likely end by then, as with the massive amount of issues happening inside of the Russian Federation at that moment and the heavy confusion for the armed forces that will come as a result of that. We are believing that the Ukrainians will probably be able to reclaim all of their territories in one large move during that time.
No, dude. You're living in Disneyland. That's not, none of that is ever gonna happen. Russia would rather die than give up all their territories that they took over in 2022.
But nevertheless, we will have to wait and see. But it does seem as though that Ukraine is still adamant on securing their territorial integrity and making sure to try and keep their war goals secure and in picture, making sure to try and reestablish their 1991 borders by the time of the end of the war.
There will be no return to the 1991 borders, let alone 2014. Stop the cope. My God.
Moving on from all of this news that is happening either in
Okay. Ugh. I just want to make this very clear to people. I don't like this guy. I think he's a liar. He's a grifter. He clearly doesn't care about spreading facts. He only cares about spreading shit that he knows his audience is going to easily gobble up. He's a grifter. And I don't like grifters. He should be called out on this. He should be banned for spreading disinformation on the internet. I mean, like, what else do you really want me to say about the Enforcer? He lies. Lies like 24/7. Does streams to milk people out of their money. It's obvious what this guy's intention is, and it's not good. He doesn't care about Ukraine and Ukrainian people, let alone the minority groups within Russia itself. No. He only cares about making money. And he makes money by putting out videos that his audience wants to see, not what they want. They don't want to hear the truth. They only want to see what they actually want to see. And that is stuff like this. It's like junk food. Like things that will make you fat and unhealthy. Like it will kill you, like with a heart attack or stroke. Just disgusting. But anyway, people, I'm not going to sit around and call out this guy any longer. But if I do have a call to action to make, go to his comment section, call him out on his lies, tell him there's no civil war, tell him he's just a guy making money off of this tragic conflict for no other reason than to grift. I mean, people, call him out. And if the Ruber Community Note feature were to ever come on YouTube, we are going to absolutely use it on this guy. And his channel will die before the Russian army even has issues again within Ukraine. I assure all of you. But anyway, take care, you guys. I hope to see you all next time, and good night. Peace out.